Hello, it's me. And I had to do a follow-up on my mother-in-law that I had spoke of. And this is her when she was a young woman. We lost her. Uh, the family had decided, she wasn't having any brain activity. So 6 weeks she had been in a coma, and it was decided overall. And Mother's Day wasn't easy. Never is for me. Never has been for me. Um, it's honoring, first of all, it's honoring to be able to see. And so when there's that, when you're honoring someone that you love, you're honoring someone that's been there for the births of your children. She was always there for me. The last 10 years had been really a journey. It had been a journey for my sister. I don't even know, other than I wanted to express a life that was just, she was one of the women in my life that uh, humbled me, because I never heard her say a negative thing about anyone. It's just no matter what someone did, including her family, no matter how much she deserved, so much more than she got, so much more. And toward the latter part of our relationship, we talked a lot more about spirituality, which, for some people that comes real easy. And for others, if you're not attached or have an understanding, or maybe you didn't grow up, or there's nothing there other than there's something greater than you. And that's really so private and so personal. So to discuss it is, for me, I've always known. I've always known since I was young. Uh, and then my mother started taking myself and my biological sister to church. I have just the one sibling, and baptized, and it was very strict, and it was very rigid, and you didn't speak, and I don't think women played a very big role. As a matter of fact, I know they didn't. I went through catechism, which absolutely just was despicable. I had a really hard time. I had a lot of questions. And so, you know, I was confirmed, and my mother passed away within 6 months of that. And I didn't go back. That church was not for me. Not to say it's not for somebody else, that denomination or anything, it just wasn't for me. So anyway, one thing Mom and I did enjoy, we enjoyed poetry. We enjoyed reading. She had ended up with macular degeneration, if I said that right. Because, till I get these fixed, I have a real hard time pronouncing, speaking, whatever you want to call it. And I can get self-conscious about it sometimes, but to be honest with you, I'm grateful. I actually talked to uh, orthodontist, whatever you want to call it, yesterday, and it's just so expensive. But I'm getting there. Baby steps. This is one of the things that she loved. This is one of the, and I'm sure everyone's heard it before, but this is for you, Mom. This is something you loved. And for our family, know that she sees us all the time. Just like our higher power or the universe or whatever touches your soul. The things that make us think twice before we do something that's not right. Our integrity. So she loved Emily Dickinson, and she loved this particular one. and it is. Hope is the thing with feathers that perches in your soul and sings the tune without the words and never stops at all. And sweetest in the gale is heard, and sore must be the storm that could abash the little bird that kept so many warm. I've heard it in the chillest land and on the strangest sea, and yet never in extremity it asked a crumb from me. And that really is who she was. It was described of my own mother. I didn't have the memories. I didn't know, nor did I remember a lot. But the one thing I heard consistently was she was an iron fist in a velvet glove. And that was my mother-in-law, who has mothered me for over 40 years, who didn't cut me any slack, and I'm actually grateful for that. There was a time in my life where I wasn't headed in the right direction at all. I've been sober since July 5th of 1990. She took me to treatment. Actually, she took me to detox, and later I decided to go to a long-term treatment center, which was a year long. And my children were young, but they still didn't understand. And as she drove me, and my oldest daughter's running behind the car going, "Where's my mom going? Where's my mom going?" And my mother-in-law said, "This is going to be one of the hardest things you ever do, but I promise you it's going to be worth it." She was right. After my 10 days of detox, this facility came in with what they call a pilot program. And it was related to alcoholism, addiction, and homelessness. So I signed the papers and met with their father, had it notarized that he would have 2 of the 3, because he was the biological father to them. And my oldest one's father was in another state, but he stayed with family members. Anyway, I completed that. It was the most life-changing experience of not only coming from a small town and started off in a big, big city. Huge buses. I had no clue what I was going into. Needless to say, she was always my contact. When my oldest daughter, had a medical issue all the way in California, and here I am in Southeast Texas, tell you that much. And I would have left that facility in a heartbeat. And she said, "You trust the process. We got this." And it ended up she had hypoglycemia. And of course I couldn't. It just tore me. It tore me. And for someone who struggled a little bit with her spirituality, she really had it in spades. She had it in other ways. And see, that's the difference is people that walk the walk. Those who can quote and throw a Bible at me and say all this stuff, especially today's pastors, preachers, whatever, that have, Bentleys, that have a multitude of a congregation that's on TV and satellite offices and this stuff. I'm not impressed by any of that. I get more from someone on an individual basis that lives life on life terms. I'm going to miss her, and I miss her today. I found out that I'm going to be a great-grandmother the other day, and now I found out that it's going to be a little girl. Little princess. It is blessings upon blessings. I didn't want to make this real long. I just wanted to kind of update and say to my family how much I love you. That I'm so proud of each and every one of you. That those in my life, you know who you are, and I tell you every day how much you are strength to me, how much I admire each and every one of you. I love you to the bottom of my heart. Whether you think I do or not. With that being said, I'll catch up later on. I really want to get in my car so we can do some traveling, people. Okay? Peace.